Breeze.
Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building. Oh, we're back again, ladies and gentlemen. And it's off-season content time. That's right. We're talking about everything that matters so much to the Chicago Bears off-season Super Bowl. You heard it here first.
That's right.
Greatest team alive.
That's right.
Oh, we got to talk about a possible wideout being listed to the Chicago Bears. Could they land this superstar? What would it take? And
right.
should they be interested in going out and getting a superstar wideout? And then Senior Bowl was yesterday. Nothing like a little Senior Bowl action, ladies and gentlemen. Got to talk about some of the standouts that the Bears may need to be keeping their eye on. As the Senior Bowl got going, there was some nice pieces out there just from some clips that I saw that people were sending me left and right, up and down, all that, you know, up, down, left, right.
Okay.
And finally, should the Chicago Bulls, I know, calm down, everybody.
Oh, whoa, what?
Go after De'Aaron Fox.
Whoa, we got Bulls.
The date is 1/29/2025. It's 7:03 in the morning. And Jordan JC, put the word out there.
All right.
Bulls are on the docket. We lost so many people. Trade deadline is Feb 6th. It's the little bit of time they're going to get.
That's right. Hey.
Hey, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I need y'all go ahead and do me a favor, man. Go ahead out there and
come on.
Mm-hmm.
Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Stop playing with us over here at the Windy City Breeze, man. We're going to get after you. We're going to get after you. Stop playing with the boys.
Stop playing around.
What's going on, JC? How you feeling this morning, brother?
Oh, feeling revitalized, rejuvenated. I'm feeling good. You know, not a bad week. Ready to get into this content.
All right. Revitalized and rejuvenated was not where I thought we were going there. He's this guy's getting after it. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at that at all. What's going on at home? You okay? Yeah, right. Oh, little gym action. I worked out myself last night for probably the first time since my son has been born. It's just been constantly running. So bad. Yeah.
Finally get that workout back in.
Yeah, bad though. You know what I mean? It was like 2 sets, and I was like, all right.
That's it.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta breathe. Hold on, I'm tired.
You gotta start somewhere.
I'm gonna go up here and work out after I knock out Locked On Bulls. But
there you go.
Woo, yeah, bad. Real bad.
It's okay. Get back into the routine. That's okay.
I was embarrassed. I was like, you filthy animal. You need to get your life together. You have children now. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Let's jump into this content here because PFF has listed a big name wideout to the Chicago Bears as the best landing spot. And the name of that wideout is none other than wide receiver Chris Godwin from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 28 years old, 208 pounds, 6'1". Last season, he had 5 receiving touchdowns, 576 yards, caught 50 of his 60 targets. Somebody who definitely could step in, help out in the slot in a big way if the Bears did choose to go that way. Let's start it off here, JC. What are your thoughts on the possibility of Chris Godwin as an option for the Chicago Bears. Do you think that this is something that the Bears should be interested in, knowing they're probably going to prioritize line help? I would hope line help and things like that beforehand, but maybe you still need that third big name wideout, especially in Ben Johnson's new system.
I'm okay with it, but I'm assuming this is a topic because we're saying that Keenan Allen is going to be gone.
This starts off with the conversation of Keenan Allen not re-signing with the Bears, and I mean,
you're getting that fourth.
We probably getting the fourth, but we've had the conversation a couple of times here.
Yeah,
Allen's contract is just—he's not going to lose money.
Yeah.
He's going to be making around 18 to 20 million. I just feel like it's impossible to bring him back anywhere near that number at the age that he is. Now, Ryan Poles has surprised me before, so I'm not going to say that it couldn't happen, but this is in a scenario where there is no more Keenan Allen on this team.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like, you can take it or leave it with a person like Chris Godwin. I don't dislike the name. Chris Godwin, a few years ago, I was high on. I believe, when Tom Brady was still with the team and they won the championship. I think like 2019, he had his best season. Over
he had to go. Oh, all right.
Yeah, TV, he had to go. But I still like him just, on his own as a receiver, sure-handed guy, big type wide receiver for his size. I do like those attributes, those traits. Had a down year this year. 576 yards, 5 touchdowns, somewhat of a down year. Those are still decent stats for what they are. But at the end of the day, do we need it? No, we do not need it. I've said it before, and I'll bring this statement up again. I think less is more. I think we have maybe some cheaper options that we could go with. You have Tyler Scott on the roster. I think that maybe he gets more of a fair shot if you want to put him in that slot position, or you have a person like Colin Johnson, or you can still go the draft route and maybe pick up a receiver in the later rounds. Like there's so many other ways that we can kind of skin this. I think where you're putting money into other areas of need instead of taking on another contract like that. Like I said, take it or leave it. I feel like Chris Godwin would be a nice addition, but at the same time, it's not necessary.
I think it's interesting what they say here, right? This is from PFF. Chicago had a vision of surrounding its number 1 pick at quarterback Caleb Williams with dynamic weapons to ease his transition into the NFL. With Keenan Allen entering the open market, the Bears may opt for another dynamic slot option. New Bears head coach Ben Johnson headed up an offense in Detroit that featured a pivotal receiver dominating the slot in Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he may look to secure another here. Here's my thing, though. And I'm not, listen, if the Bears go out and get Chris Godwin, I would be happy as long as they address the trenches first. I think people don't realize what Ben Johnson was good at, though. I think people forget that I fully expect to be pissed off by the end of this because we're going to prioritize spending more money probably on a different running back this offseason, because Ben Johnson's entire system is predicated on line play and the run. When you talk about a dynamic receiver, listen, I know we want DJ Moore to be this X receiver who's just out there just flying down the field and just, I got touchdown, stop playing with me. Boom. I can put DJ Moore in the slot and he could be just as dominant. DJ Moore's a yak monster if I want to do something like that. Now, if I want to keep him on the outside as the Z or something like that, I think you also look at Rome Odunze as a big body on the outside. Look at that third wide receiver in the group, though. Right? You're talking about when you get to Detroit, yeah, you got Jameson Williams. Yes, you have Amon-Ra St. Brown. But then you develop Tim Patrick. So like I would expect them to more go that route. Now, as far as what it would take to get Chris Godwin in here, I mean, you're probably talking about him signing somewhere between a $23 to $25 million deal. Maybe you get a little bit more of a discount somewhere in that 22 range, just because of him having a down season. Yeah. I don't believe you can commit that kind of money to Chris Godwin right now. Is he worth that kind of money? For sure. I just don't think you're in the place to go out and get those luxuries yet. I don't think that you're in the place to go out and spend money on pieces that, I mean, let's be real, you always seem to be able to find in the draft. Now, I'm not saying you're going to find Chris Godwin per se, but the whole point, the whole thing that we've been talking about with bringing these guys in, right, is bringing the coaching staff in, I should say, is that this is a coaching staff that walks in the room and can develop talent. Let them develop talent. Let them do what we're praising them for doing. Let them be the guys that can go out there and I don't believe Tyler Scott's going to be the guy, but maybe he is. Turn a Tyler Scott into the next Chris Godwin. Turn whoever the draft pick is that you see in the draft into that next big name piece. Because while I like the name Chris Godwin, and I think that he would absolutely bring help here, I can't commit $20 million to anything not named offensive line. Yeah.
You mentioned the word priority, and I think that's what's big here with this conversation is, is this a priority? Is this something that we absolutely need? We looked at the way they handled things last year, and we talked about it recently. Bears got cute. Ryan Poles used the 4th round pick on a position that he didn't need. He used money on a running back maybe that was overpriced. So there's a lot of things that he did backwards and that he admitted. And so going into this offseason, we need to make sure that the priority, as you said, are the trenches. As you said, are our protection, and then also on the other side of the ball with the edge and the interior of the defensive line. So, I'm again, you would love to have a guy like him on a team when you have those things addressed. That's when it becomes a luxury. And it's like, okay, are we at that point where we can spend a little bit more money on things because we have all these other areas addressed? Well, you haven't done that yet. And so I don't think going into the offseason, the priority should be receiver, because you essentially have 2 really good ones. And as you mentioned, you can put DJ Moore in the slot, and Rome Odunze could grow into what you would want at that X. He has the measurables. He has the talent for it. You saw the connection between him and Caleb continue to get better over time, especially in those clutch moments. And so are you fine with just having those 2 kind of shore up that receiver room, and then just kind of develop the other guys that you already have here? Or do you absolutely have to go for somebody like a Chris Godwin to, solidify that 3rd spot? For me, I'm saying that's why I said take it or leave it, because we have to make sure we're thinking about offensive line. Let's not, deter that attention to another position that we do not need right now.
And I think that's the tough part, right? We see these big names, we see the big weapons, we see the excitement that Chris Godwin can bring. Listen, he's going to be a touchdown monster. We see all of these things and we go, oh, I want it. I want the shiny new toy. Let me touch it. I want it. No, you know what you need? You need Legos. You can't get the new, I don't know what toys kids are playing with nowadays. It's a weird world out here, so you never know anymore. But you can't get the new. I'm going my era. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Oh yeah, you can't get it.
You get Legos.
Mm-hmm.
You got to build the fort around the turtles.
The building blocks.
Then we'll get you the turtles. Or you need the sewer. Did you used to get the I don't know, we say, man, now you're a little older than me, but they used to come with the full sewer that you could open up, and it had the dojo in there.
I remember that. I didn't have it, but I do remember
you get that. The dojo. You're not getting the turtles this day. You get the dojo. You got 2 turtles, you get 2 turtles later. You got the dojo. Like, because you have to build this team up. It's not going to matter if you have all of these fun pieces on the outside. I think this season should be a cautionary tale to every team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow is not the way you want to build this. Joe Burrow is not the way you want this to go.
No.
Joe Burrow's dead. often.
With
Very, very
with
often.
amazing stats, he's still dead.
Yeah, I mean, puts up great numbers. Dead. He's in a tub right now, trying to heal his wounds. And I think that the Bears tried to build this very much in a Joe Burrow situation, just going, Caleb will hit the deep shots. It'll be perfect. Well, then Caleb didn't hit the deep shots. You know what I mean? Like it's a you have to protect the shot. I'm not telling you have to give him the best protection in the world. Heck, like I think this is a conversation people don't really have. At least Bears fans, I should say. When I say I want Caleb Williams protected, I don't expect him to drop down to 15 sacks a season.
Man, that would be nice.
It'd be great, right? But there is a portion of that is on him.
True.
Patrick Mahomes had his best passing season, and he led the NFL in sacks. He also won a Super Bowl that year. Lamar Jackson is constantly at the top of the league in sacks. Josh Allen is often at the top of the league in sacks.
Yeah.
This is a weird league where you're not really getting a ton of dudes who just don't get sacked ever. Because there is a portion of that is on them. I've always said, right? Like, you do need to blame the offensive line when my left tackle gets pushed directly into Caleb Williams' lap. We also have to blame Caleb Williams for the times where he is running into sacks. I still expect to go into next season and say we're at 30 sacks. That's a massive improvement.
Massive, huge. Yeah.
That's a massive improvement.
Yeah.
30 sacks, still a lot of sacks. But you have to have that conversation on he's going to grow as a quarterback. If you have the offensive lineman that can create a pocket, what can he do when he steps up into it and plays in that? There are going to be times where he does get happy feet and he tries to make a play with his feet and it leads to a sack. You want to know why? Because he's a mobile quarterback. Pat Mahomes does it. Lamar Jackson does it. Josh Allen does it. All these guys do it. That's the kind of quarterback that we want. Guy that's armed first, runs second. But you want to give him the best situation to where you can look at him and be like, all right, Caleb, like, don't run into that. Versus, all right, Caleb, like, just run for your life. The ball will snap, run. Like, get out of there. So yeah. I think that's kind of the thing that you're trying to build here moving into this next season.
Yeah. I think I love Relentless Mikey's comment a minute ago. He said, if you build it, they will come. I think that's how you look at this. You know, you attract all these top free agents when you have everything in place first. You know, it's okay that, you know, maybe they're connecting a Chris Godwin to us now, but when we address all of these things, the trenches, the first, you know, this off season, and you get the protection right, there's no telling how many receivers or other free agents will be attracted to this situation down the line, the year after in 2026. Maybe we get another notable free agent that says, oh, you know what, Chicago's doing it right. You know, I want to go there, or, you know, for whatever the price will be. And so I think that could be a down the road thing where then we talk about the luxuries of football and the luxury positions where you can just kind of, you know, pick who you want to be here. But for right now, you know, I love the Joe Burrow comparison. You don't want him to be here getting killed and then near eclipsing 60, getting sacked 60 times again. Like, no, we would love to at least cut that in half, or at least get it down to 20 plus. And like that would be the dream for this year. And so obviously you have to really invest all of your time and attention into the trenches.
No, 100%. And hopefully I think they will this offseason. I think they get Ben Johnson in here, and that is something that he will do. Coming up next, we want to talk about the Senior Bowl. I got 3 names for you to watch for, JC. 3 names.
Oh,
that these are not top of the draft guys, but these are guys that may make their way up a little bit higher. You got some 2nd round picks in here. We got 3rd round picks in here. Dare I say, maybe even burn a 4th rounder on a little running back action. We'll talk about
look at you. Okay.
Oh, as long as I don't see Aston Genthy in there. If I do, I'll go into the draft room myself. Just, hey, Ryan, come here. Hey, take that with you, Ryan. Drafting running backs again, are you? Punter in the 4th round. Hey, man, we'll be right back right after this. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold.
When a severe storm hits, hail and high-speed winds can cause excessive damage to your home. This can lead to blown-off shingles, broken windows, siding damage, and leaking inside. If you suspect your home has been hit with storm damage, contact CNN Construction today. We are a proud GAF Master Elite contractor, offering free exterior home inspection for storm-related damages. CNN is a reputable licensed roofing and general contractor working hand-in-hand with insurance companies and homeowners every step of the way through the difficult claims and restoration process. We will meet with your insurance adjuster to discuss the damages to your property, the value of those repairs, and the scope of work needed at your home. Our skilled team has you covered and will leave your home looking brand new. Give us a call today at 844-415-ROOF or visit our website at cnroofs.com for a free exterior inspection. CNN Construction. We find the solutions, not the excuses.
Welcome back. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love to another edition of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily Morning Breeze edition. Yeah. The lottie dottie. We like to party.
All right.
Just talked about possibility of the Chicago Bears landing Chris Godwin this offseason. This is something you want to see this Bears team do. Should they go after Godwin? I don't know if that's the move for the Bears there. Shout out to you guys in the chat, as always. Man, who all in the chat today? We got JP in the chat.
JP?
Levante in the chat. Jimmy Hoffa in this mug, man. Jimmy Hoffa said, I'm just waiting for y'all to say some BS. So far, so good. Are you just lurking at chat? Jimmy Hoffa in this mug is, all right, okay. I respect it. That's not a bad take. All right, okay. Yeah, all right.
Jimmy Hoffa, Sam Jackson. That's hilarious. Just angry for no reason.
Oh, man. Josh Canal in the building. Appreciate you guys. Jay Sanders in this mug, man. Relentless Mikey in the building, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to show and love.
What up?
Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Shout out to Golden Boy Paul. Said, I'm in Bangkok watching this.
Oh, nice.
All right. Shout out to Bangkok. You going to Bangkok?
That's some foreign fans.
Would you like to go to Bangkok?
I'll leave that for you, brother.
Oh, okay. All right. I've heard it's a great place. I've heard Bangkok's a great place. I actually, all wild jokes aside, actually would like to check out Bangkok. I've heard it's a good place.
No, I mean, honestly, I would love to travel there. Yeah.
Heard it's a great vacation spot.
All right. Well,
get anything you want. Levante, trash. Wait, no. Hey man, appreciate y'all for tuning in,
Bye.
showing love. Let's talk about the Senior Bowl a little bit. Everybody been tingly about the Senior Bowl.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's that
Yeah.
time of year, dog, where we look at people that are never going to be on our team. Yeah, I got a mock for you. I started off with one of the standouts. Now, there were a couple of O-line standouts that are very interesting.
Yeah.
And listen, I did not fly down to the Senior Bowl, but I have people who tap into the Senior Bowl. So I've gotten a couple reports on these guys personally. This is also some names that showed up in an ESPN article, so check them out on their update on the Senior Bowl. Gray Zabel, number one name. That, you know about a Gray Zabel, do you, my guy?
I know about a Gray Zabel.
6'5", 316 pounds. He was reportedly on Tuesday the best offensive lineman out there. He was exceptional through all the drills, fared the best in every single one of the one-on-one portions, showing great strength and a sufficient anchor to slow down rushers. You know, I'm looking for a good anchor. You know, I'm looking for a good anchor. He played all three spots in practice. So, of course, center, tackle, guard. But he looked most comfortable inside. Oh, hold your horses, Jordan JC. At guard and center.
There we go.
Oh, give me a 6'5", 316-pound center. Where most scouts have him projected, Zabel could be a top 50 player. He's on projection to be a second-round pick. Zabel is on my list of guys that I do believe the Chicago Bears should take a serious look at in the second round. I think that he is when you talk about first off, I guess I should get you out of college, out of North Dakota State. You kind of look at him and go, all right, well, you know, what kind of competition we taking? Is he going up against some of those tough names? To me, here's my thing when I look at Zabel. You can't teach size, you can't teach strength. And I think he has all of it. He was a tackle in college, but again, can he project better inside? I would try to move this guy. Of course, guard is the easy option, but I would truly, if you are the Bears, go out there and see if this is your center of the future. I saw him take a couple of snaps and some videos that people sent me yesterday. He looked really good, looked really comfortable taking snaps. Didn't look like he was. Now, again, this is without defense taking your head off. Right. So you got to work with this kid. There's a long way to go. But I think that the versatility of this young man is exactly what you want to see. And it seems like he's gained some weight just since the season has ended going into the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, if you're you want to get me hot and ready and tingly, give me a Gray Zabel, because I've been on you know, he's been on my radar for a couple of weeks now. I've actually checked into him a few times, and his stock is only going up. You're talking about somebody who you get in the second round. We got 2 picks in the second round, 39 and 41. I would love it if we use one of those picks on a Gray Zabel to shore up that center position. And one of the reasons being, you always talk about certain schools that are known for like bringing out certain positions or are known for developing certain positions. If you think about Notre Dame, what's the position you think about? You think about tight end.
Tight end, yeah. I was going to say.
I think about tight end. Like, you know,
I don't think running back. I'm sorry.
You don't think running back.
I don't think wide receiver. You Chase Claypool.
That was Chase Claypool. That's right. Yeah,
catching everything in his breast.
Who was the Cubs? The side note. Who was the Cubs pitcher that actually wasn't that a? Oh my goodness.
Oh, he was a tight end at Notre Dame, wasn't he?
He was a tight end, and he ended up being a pitcher.
He did.
Jeff Samardzija. Yeah.
I love Samardzija. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. He switched sports. But anyway, back on topic. Yes, North Dakota State is known for putting out some dogs when it comes to the offensive line. There's a couple of names from back then. Dylan Radins. You remember Cody Mauch. I think we talked about a Cody Mauch back then a few years back. So they're always pushing out these maulers. Huh?
Big Mauch guy, are you?
Big Mauch guy. You know,
I'm
big
not
Mauch
mad
guy.
at that.
You know, I don't have a problem with a Mauch. So these they have a reputation for really being physical. They always have a good offensive line because they always have one of the top running attacks in college as well. And so when you have that reputation, when they're constantly pushing out these guys in the offensive line, I mean, you have to pay attention. And so it's the same with Zabel. It mentions that he is relentless, finishing ability is tops, has a lot of power, has a lot of physicality. He's kind of like a bull in a china shop. You want that kind of guy. And, compared to what we have now in Coleman Shelton, I mean, clearly that's, obviously better than that. So I would love a Gray Zabel in the second round. Again, address the trenches, and you got yourself a center I think, for the future.
Now, listen, I think that he's interesting at center. I would like to see him there. He did great at left tackle, right? Maybe we don't need to reinvent the wheel here. He was a phenomenal left tackle, 961 snaps over there, only allowed 1 sack. Maybe he is your left tackle of the future. My thing is go out and draft him for the versatility of, could he be tackle? Could he be guard? Could he be center? Like, I think you need to address this, the trenches as a whole. And if you've got a guy that's coming in, depending on who the O-line coach is, and they got Steve Crutchley out there who has, like you said, when you talk about North Dakota State, like, able to churn guys out.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's very important for, what's coming into coming into the NFL and already having a running start. I feel like that's what you get with North Dakota State. Now PFF had him graded last season as his best season, a 90 overall grade. They also have him ranked as the 41st prospect on this list. And what pick we got there, Jordan JC?
We got 39 and we got 41.
Oh, okay.
We're right
all right.
there.
Let's
We're
have
right
a little conversation there. Another name that popped up that I thought was very interesting was Anthony Belton.
Oh yeah.
Heard from a few people about Anthony Belton. He is also a tackle that you could get later out of NC State. Wolfpack guy, big boy, big boy, 6'6", 336 pounds. I will say this as well. He's out of Tallahassee, Florida. It's just something about them Florida boys. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, very aggressive, gets after you. You never know. You never know what you're gonna get out of them Florida boys. Yeah, I mean, he might take out the left tackle. He might trap real quick. You never know. But said it was what was said about Anthony Belton. It was a challenge for pass rushers to get around Belton on Tuesday, while he mostly played left tackle. The 6'5", 345 pound. What did I just say he was? They got him listed heavier. How they hyping these mugs up? That's a lot of weight.
I don't know, man. That's a big boy.
9 pounds right there.
That's a big boy.
Maybe not. Been a while since the season ended. 345-pound Belton also slid inside for multiple reps. His strength stood out the most as he used his complementary anchor to shut down rushers. Belton was outside of my top 8 rushers and offensive tackles entering this week, but he helped himself by displaying his versatility and power. Here's the one thing that I've been hearing about Anthony Belton the entire time. The versatility is a little bit new. I'm not gonna lie to you. The power is what I've been hearing about him. Just a pure monster of a man.
Yeah.
And aggressive, gets after it, looks to cause some damage. Those are the things that I like to hear when his name is brought up, and it seems like it is something that we constantly hear about this young man. Now, Anthony Belton, he's probably more of a 4th or 5th round pick, but could you see him moving up in the draft here? I think that is a serious possibility if you're trying to address more in the trenches later. We're not going to use all these picks on offensive line, guys. We're just not. So you're going to have to take some of those guys later on in the draft in your 4th and or 5th round. To me, if he moves up to the 4th round, I would be all in on going and getting a guy like him. I'm assuming you're going Will Campbell or Kelvin Banks Jr. early. If that plays out that way and we go 2nd round, Gray Zabel, senior. By the way, these guys, of course, as the Senior Bowl, so they're all seniors. The experience to me matters.
Yeah. There you go.
The experience to me matters a lot. So if I went second round, 41st pick, Gray Zabel, maybe use that 39th pick to go on the defensive line, and later on in the draft, you want to attack the trenches again. To me, this is a great name to keep an eye on. Experience, able to step in, kind of already understands, has an anchor, like how this young man's built.
No, strong hands, 36-inch arms is what they're saying. He was limiting pass rushers all day, putting people on the ground. I mean, that's the mentality I want in your offensive lineman at the very least. Somebody who's extremely aggressive and plays with their head cut off. Like those are the type of linemen that I want, especially if you're talking about in the developmental rounds, like the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, where you see something in them that you can continue to tap into and develop. And I think we have the staff that can do that. So when you bring in a guy like Anthony Belton, he probably can continue to grow in his game. And those, of course, we're talking about where he could potentially be now. We know that there's going to be certain players that are just going to continue to rise in draft boards. So, if we get, like when we talked about Keenan Allen leaving, we get that 4th round back. That could be where we, pick this guy. Or if he gets in the 3rd round, that's where we could pick this guy. I'm fine with Anthony Belton. I just want these type of players to be on this team, because that's the culture that I think that we're trying to set, is guys that absolutely love football, and you can tell on tape that they're guys that really dedicate to their craft. And you can tell that Anthony Belton is a mauler of a guy. He's a mountain of a man, as we like to say, and he's somebody who you don't have to teach toughness, you don't have to teach aggression, you don't have to teach motor. He has those things in him. And so I would love an Anthony Belton out of North Carolina State. I agree that, if we were to get, either Will or Kelvin Banks in the 1st round, and then we go after Gray Zabel, maybe we use that 39th pick on somebody else, but then go back to addressing the trenches. Yes, we do have other areas of need as well, but I wouldn't be mad if we use 3 of those first 4 picks addressing offensive line.
Yeah, listen, I'm not. I think that you're going to invest heavily, and again, this is where you're supposed to take these guys, but this is a project guy to me. Yeah. Right? I don't think he's a finished product by any means. This is where whoever you hire as your O-line coach is going to be huge. This is where you have to get the most out of an Anthony Belton. He's a pure left tackle. He's not playing anything else. He's a left tackle. He's played left tackle in all 3 years of college, and that's probably where he's going to be slated at if he comes to the NFL. Yeah, the Bears kind of try to shy away from those guys who are stuck in one spot, but I like a guy who just knows his position. This guy's been playing nothing but left tackle for his entire college career. I think that he would be interesting, especially if you went with a Gray Zabel earlier in the draft, because to me, the conversation of Zabel being so versatile, you can move him in the guard. He's really solid. You can move him in the center. Maybe he's able to do that as well. I think that's a better conversation to have when you have a pure left tackle on the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with that. Now, I did promise we'll finish out with a running back here.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Right.
Here we go.
All right. Here, Pat's bringing up running
Jordan
back.
JC.
Who
later
you got?
round guy.
All right.
Probably now you would have to go, more than likely you couldn't go Anthony Belton and this guy probably, unless you took him in the 3rd round, which if we're taking 3rd round running backs. All right. Okay.
No, that's your cutoff, huh?
That's where I start to get iffy. You got to be that dude in the 3rd round, right? I don't know if this guy's that dude, but I do think that he could be. First off, I know he comes from good stock. I do think he could have some really good pedigree in the NFL. Okay. And I believe that with proper blocking, you could get more out of him. Might I interest you in Junior out of Georgia, 5'9", 205 pounds. I don't know what they're listed him at from the Senior Bowl here, but what do you got for a Trevor Etienne? Not a Travis Etienne Jr.
Oh, my God.
Trevor Etienne. Because of the Senior Bowl, Etienne was unstoppable in every single running back drill. Seems like he lost height and weight, according to, I don't know who's measuring. At 5'8", 202 pounds, Etienne is a blur out of the backfield as a receiver with excellent twitch and open field speed, pretty much what Ben Johnson wants. American team's linebacker and safety could not keep up with him during drills designed to simulate one-on-one coverage. He rushed for 609 yards this last season. He caught 32 passes for 194 yards in 2024. Right now, he's projecting as a day 3 player, which I do believe is probably the case. You're taking him a little bit later. I wouldn't take him in the 3rd round, but you're taking him a little bit later. But he could possibly rise up into that 3rd round. Jordan JC, might I interest you in a Trevor Etienne? And you know what? Before you do that, Jay Grizz, you are 100% right. I hate to do this to you, Meaty, but we are over 100 in the chat. Over 200 in the chat.
Oh, yeah. All right.
The conversation was too good. My bad, man. My
Jesus.
bad, dog. We have a good conversation.
Killing me out here, man.
400 on the YouTube side, man. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. 249 over on the Twitter side, man. Hit that retweet button. I've decided I'm just still calling it Twitter. I'm not like flipping my whole brain around. I'm like, whatever. It's Twitter. Now back to the exhausting running back conversation. I would be okay if you get into the 4th round area and you take a guy like a Trevor Etienne, because number one, you know the talent in the family already is there. I do like Travis Etienne. I think injuries have really caught up with him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when he came out, he was an exciting player, and I think that if you get this young man a line, he could really show you some things, and he doesn't cost $8 million.
You just had to keep bringing that up. No,
yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, no, that he's a good prospect. Obviously, he comes from good stock. Out of Georgia, you know that's a good program, and so he's going up against decent competition. Had a decent senior year, and so coming in as a really young prospect, mentions 21 years old, would be in his rookie NFL season, and so you like that. Of course, for you, you like wearing guys out, so at least he'll be 21. So by age 25, at least age. I don't.
Hey, yeah. It's your show now, buddy.
I mean, you like. Well, I guess Pat is gone. So, like I was saying, I think that Pat likes wearing these running backs out when it comes to using them in college, and then oh, you're back. I'm sorry. I didn't mean you wear them out. I mean on the field, brother. On the field. All right, got to be specific with this guy. Flag on the play by Duan. Whatever. Anyway,
that one was nuts. That may be the worst one of 2025. That was crazy.
Oh, I don't know if I can recover, but hey, anyway, I like the prospect. He's a shifty guy, has a decent motor. I like Etienne. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna shut up now. I'm gonna shut up. Oh, guys. Jesus,
that was crazy that you put that on my name in front of all these people. That was insane. Oh God, bro. Hey man, let us know your thoughts on the senior. Get out of there. You ain't lying. Let us know your thoughts on the Senior Bowl prospects. What do you think about the names that are on the list? I would take a guy like Trevor Etienne in the later rounds. I think that would be a good get. Listen, a speed back, a receiving guy who can kind of do everything. I'd be interested in that later on in the draft. Definitely not in the first 3 rounds. Give me a day 3 on a guy like that. But I did say this. We will talk a little Bulls before we get up out of here. Appreciate you guys tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do because Shams Charania. Shams. I miss Woj. Shams Charania putting this out yesterday over on the old tweeters that De'Aaron Fox may end up being on the move. He said the Sacramento Kings are expected to open up talks to potentially deal All-Star De'Aaron Fox ahead of the February 6th trade deadline. Sources tell ESPN there will be plenty of suitors, but it's believed that Fox has a target destination in mind ahead of 2026 free agency. I saw later on Twitter from Dime Alerts, so take that for what you will, that it could be San Antonio.
Oh,
could be a Spurs kind of move.
man, that would be nasty.
But the thing about making a trade like this is if the Bulls were to get in on this, you can't trade Zach LaVine because Sacramento would not want to run back exactly what the Bulls just had in the Western Conference.
Right, exactly.
Why would they want to do that? So you're probably moving some different pieces around. You're probably moving a guy like I think the package I put together was Nikola Vucevic, Patrick Williams, and a 2028 first round top 10 protected pick. For Trey Lyles, for Trey Lyles and De'Aaron Fox. Here's my trouble with all of this. You got a twofold street here, right? Everybody's going to lose their mind. We have point guards, Pat. Why would we want more point guards? The Bulls don't need more point guards. We don't have stars. And the Bulls need stars. And De'Aaron Fox is a star. And if you pair De'Aaron Fox up with Zach LaVine, I think that they could both be stars together. That is how this NBA works. That is how every NBA works. I'm sorry that your mom and pop shop players are not the ones that put you over the top in championships anymore. Stars is what you need to build your team. So I do think you should be interested in making a deal. The problem is with De'Aaron Fox having a team in mind, you may not be able to re-sign him. With that being the case, I think that puts you in a bad light if you're going to try and make a deal here, because there's no way you can go into a Josh Giddey situation with De'Aaron Fox and try and make that work. You know what I mean? Like you're coming into the last year of his deal on his contract. It just doesn't feel like a good situation for either team. For me, I don't think the Bulls should be in on a De'Aaron Fox trade, but I'm simple, right? Make the call, see what it would cost you. See what kind of intrigue you can get there. Maybe you get something out of it that turns into something else, right? But like I just it doesn't make sense to me for the Bulls to bring back De'Aaron Fox for the simple reason of if you're gonna make a trade, you don't even know if he wants to stay there with you.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I would love a De'Aaron Fox if you had him say that, I'm going to commit to this team. But if you're just trying to showcase him for another team, why would you do that? And this is another reason why the Bulls are a conundrum to me, because you've already got, and yes, I agree with those people. I'm going to be honest with you. We've got point guards on the team. We just invested in a Giddey, when we traded Caruso. It's like, what are you actually trying to do? Because at the very end of the day, Giddey can give you the rebounds. He can give you the assists. He may not be as efficient of a scorer. He's not the same type of prospect or player as De'Aaron Fox. Obviously, we know that De'Aaron Fox is averaging 25, 5, and 6. Yeah. Like those are really, really good numbers in the league. But my question again is, what is the direction? Where are you going with this? If you know that this guy is not really going,
the direction is stars.
No,
listen,
but
Josh Giddey's not going to be a star.
No, he's not. He's not.
Nobody else on this team is going to be a star. Zach LaVine could be a star. That's it. That's your
Zach LaVine's and he how old is Zach LaVine? Is he 30?
He'll be 30
how old Zach? How many times are we going to say he's on the brink of being a star? He's already put up probably his best season as far as stats already. Like he is who he is.
I mean, he's going to be that
he's going to be that second tier all-star type of player,
sure,
for forever to come. Now, so for me, I feel like if you bring a De'Aaron Fox in here, yes, that would be a nice pairing. But how can you get that to be? How can you get that to be a constant if he's only going to be here for the year and say, all right, now I want to jump ship and go somewhere else where they actually win? What are you doing this for then? Are you doing it just to fill seats?
I mean, listen, I think here's my thing. You win with stars. And if you can get stars on your team, you need to do that. De'Aaron Fox is a star player. He's a number one. If De'Aaron Fox comes in here, guess what? Zach LaVine probably becomes the number two. If Zach LaVine becomes the number two, that works in our favor. Because now you've got two guys that can go out there and put up 20 plus together, 25 plus together, and your offense is on point. Now, defensively, you're going to fall off a cliff, but I mean, defensively, the Bulls ain't great defensively anyway. Right now, Josh Giddey ain't stopping nobody at the bucket. My whole point in all of this is you have to get players that have high potential, high upside, high star caliber. That's how you win in the NBA. You want to know why the Bulls don't win? You want to know why the Bulls are at the bottom of the barrel every year? You don't have none of them dudes. All these role players that people want to hold on to and try and make more. Kobe White, he's going to take that next step. This is the step. An inconsistent shooting guard that can make plays great one day, can definitely put up points. But when you look at the game by games, he's going to have games where he gives you 6. He's going to have games where he gives you 4. He's going to have games where he gives you 2. And those aren't games that you really need from your number 2 option on your team. Ayo Dosunmu's a great role player off of the bench. I think he's a great role player if you put him in the starting lineup. He's a role player. You have no stars on your team. It's why you're at the bottom of the barrel every single year.
Yeah.
Like you need star. De'Aaron Fox is a star.
No, look, I agree, and of course, shout out to Nova. I agree too. He's the Bulls are middle of the pack, so you need to make some sort of decision. My only thing is, are you taking a chance? Like here, Arturas, are you taking a chance on saying, well, if we bring him in the building for the last bit of his contract, could you convince him to stay? That's my only question: is can you convince him to re-sign with the Bulls and move forward with this team? Because then, yes, now we got something cooking. Where it's like, okay, you got your star in the building. Now you build off that. You continue to develop a Modest. Now you have Zach, De'Aaron, Modest that you can build around and go forward. That would make me just a little tingly, just a little bit. But if you're bringing him in here just to highlight him for another team, that's stupidity to me.
I mean, listen, I think that he's got another year left on his deal, so he will be a 2026 player. There is that opportunity to say, listen, this is what we could build over here. And I'll say this. Eastern Conference Kings is probably a top team. So if you build the Eastern Conference Kings, you're building one of those better teams. Because the East is wide open. It's terrible right now.
It is.
The East is wide open. It's terrible. Shout out to Dwayne Threats. He said, Bulls can't afford to trade picks, move White, P. Will, and Vooch for Fox, then get rid of Billy Donovan for next season. I mean, listen, well, that wouldn't work because money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they all make Kobe White is making 10, Pat is making, or Kobe White is making, what is Kobe making? 15? Pat 15. Is making 18.
I think last time it was 15.
Kobe's making 15, Pat's making 18, Vooch is making 20. Yeah, that's too much money to send out. So that's why you have to send the picks. I get don't give up the picks, but you're giving up picks for a guy that is a proven player. Again, though, I don't think you should do it for the exact reason JC said. I just think it's flawed logic. That's more so what I'm arguing. I do think you shouldn't give up for a dude who doesn't want to be there because that never goes well in the NBA.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It never works out in the NBA to be like, hey, you want to be here next season? No, I'm going to force my way out. I'm Jimmy Butler in this mug. But I do think that it's flawed logic for people to go, we have guards on the team. They all are mid. Josh Giddey ain't even good. Like he's mediocre offensively and he's trash defensively. Like what are we waiting on? We're acting like Josh Giddey's a rookie. He's been in the league 4 years now. Just because he's new don't mean he ain't still on the Patrick Williams plan.
Patrick Williams is hilarious.
He's not. Listen, if all you do is pass, you better be Jason flipping Kidd out there. This smug is averaging 7 assists. He is not averaging 14. He is mid. Heck, it don't even look good. Lonzo Ball looked better than him, and he got a knee and a half.
That's true.
Like
knee and a half.
No, it's just like we hold on to these pieces he's got it. This is the next guy. No, it's not. Y'all waiting for something to develop. Meanwhile, some 18-year-old just walked on the court, windmill dunked on LeBron. Like, it's not how basketball is anymore. You gotta let it go. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get up out of here, JC. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. That was our 10 minutes of Bulls talk for you.
Oh man,
That was a lot of Bulls talk right there. And people stuck around. Look at that. 356 over here on the YouTube side, man. 289 over on the Twitter side. Retweet this thing, man. Hit that like button if you have not done so. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We'll be back later for the Daily Show. Talking probably some more Senior Bowl action, talking a little football action, maybe talk a little more Bulls action, also looking around the leagues as well. All that more coming up today. So stay tapped in with us over here on the Windy City Breeze. For Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, it's your boy, Panther Designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bet down. One love. See red. Peace.
Yes, sir.
You been watching these WNBA moves?
Angel Reese has been kicking butt.
Let's talk about the trades, but yeah.
Oh, you talking about old girl from Vegas, from Aces?
Well, that too, but Alyssa Thomas got traded yesterday to the Mercury.
She did?
Yep.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, Kai and Thomas action. You know they got beef.
Wow. All right.